Let me make this point. Extraordinary people do extraordinary things. Extraordinary times cultivate extraordinary people. We are in one of those times that is extraordinary, that is cultivating extraordinary people to do extraordinary things. Many of those people are right here at the Texas Department of Public Safety. From the earliest Texas Rangers to the modern day trooper, more is demanded from the Texas Department of Public Safety than ever before. 2 days ago, we'll just give you a glimpse into the magnitude and complexity of the activities that we're involved in, as well as the ongoing involvement of myself with the Texas Department of Public Safety. But just to emphasize one area, look at what they're having to deal with in an unprecedented fashion along the border. We live in a time with the most extreme and urgent border crisis in the history of the state of Texas. In just the past 15 months, there's been more than 1.6 million people come across the Texas border illegally. To put that in context, over the past 15 months, there have been more people coming across the border into the state of Texas than live in any city in the state of Texas, with the only exception being Houston. And with the elimination of Title 42, that number is only going to double or maybe even triple. What that means that over the next year, beginning on May 23rd, there will be more people coming into the state of Texas than even the largest city in the state of Texas. That is an extraordinary challenge for the state to deal with, and it adds to the duties and the responsibilities and the complexities of what the Texas Department of Public Safety has to respond to. The streets of Texas are safer today because of the efforts of the Texas Department of Public Safety to make sure that we protect our communities from these very dangerous criminals coming across the border. Similarly, the Texas Department of Public Safety over the past 15 months, they have seized enough fentanyl to kill every man, woman, and child in Texas, in California, New York, Illinois, Florida combined. Had it not been for the Texas Department of Public Safety, there would be even more people losing their lives today because of exposure to fentanyl. The complexities and challenges of what the Texas Department of Public Safety is doing these days goes far beyond what they've ever dealt with in the past. And all of this is being done at a time in our history when they face a different challenge, and that is the challenge of people and communities across this country that are pushing back and showing hostility toward law enforcement in the first place by talking about things like defunding law enforcement. We've seen this unprecedented hostility toward law enforcement during times like the riots and protests about 2 years ago, where Director McCraw and I were on the phone multiple times every single day, working on strategies to keep communities across the entire state of Texas safe during the times of those riots. But despite this appetite by some to try to defund law enforcement, we must remember this. This is Texas. Our values are built upon sterner stuff. And in Texas, we support our law enforcement officers, period. What the Texas Department of Public Safety does matters. And the people who do it are extraordinary. The history of what you have done here at the Texas Department of Public Safety, the history of those who have sacrificed their lives for our state, is truly extraordinary. The service, the sacrifice, especially of those who paid the ultimate price, must be captured and shared for generations to come. For Texans to be able to come here and see and remember the extraordinary people who have served the Texas Department of Public Safety. It must be memorialized properly. And that is exactly what Colonel McCraw and the Texas Department of Public Safety set out to do with this new DPS Memorial. Today, we break ground on a new memorial, one that will bridge the gap between the Texas Department of Public Safety and the public, one that honors those who have sacrificed their lives for the great state of Texas, and one that more fully tells the story of the Texas Rangers and the Texas Department of Public Safety. Texas is a legendary place, and it's been home to some legendary lawmen throughout its storied history. With the remarkable work of Clint Howard, this memorial will honor those men and women. It will rival monuments that we see in Washington, D.C., honoring both the modern-day DPS troopers who are working throughout the 254 counties of our state, including those along the Rio Grande, and helping secure our border. And it will honor the brave Texas Rangers who helped settle the Wild West so many years ago. Without their efforts, Texas would not be the legend that it is today. This memorial also celebrates all that being a DPS officer is today. The monument will have a 77-foot circle of granite with an 11-foot tall bronze Texas DPS trooper, paying his respects to a tombstone honoring the first fallen peace officer in Texas, a Texas Ranger. It also features 3 granite and bronze panels depicting scenes from the history of the Texas Department of Public Safety. Each panel is engraved with the department's core values: protection, courtesy, and service. On the panels, the monument will honor the civilian staff of DPS, the Rangers, and the aircraft, drones, and K-9 units that the DPS uses to protect Texans today. So join me once again in thanking Colonel McCraw and the Clint Howard Foundry and everyone who's had a hand in this new monument at today's groundbreaking. Congratulations on what you have achieved. God bless you all, and may God continue to bless the great state of Texas.